All righty. Well, hey, our next author is part of this, Jeffrey Gitomer. My goodness, the brother like no other, the man working the plan. Man, you've been around forever and a day. We've shared the platform somewhere way back there in the distant future and heard of your work, followed your work. And thank you so much for what you're doing in this world, again, to make a difference and for the value that you will add here to this Author-a-Thon. And so we look forward to hearing what you have to say. So tell us a little bit, Jeffrey, for those who don't know you, a little bit about yourself, and then tell us about the benefits of your book.
I am a father of 4 daughters, grandfather to 4 granddaughters, great-grandfather to 2 great-granddaughters, 10 women, all girls, all the time. Even the cat is a girl. So I have enough estrogen in here to be able to start a girls softball team. I would also like to challenge you that if you know me, you know my books. They're all available on Amazon. I've written 17 books. I've got 16 ebooks. So I'm really here today to provide a segment that will help you understand how to write. And I'm going to do it by giving you insight as to how I write. All great writers, by the way, have a book on writing or two. Hemingway, Ayn Rand, even writers that I don't like have books on how to write. Stephen King, for example. But your challenge is to make certain that you are writing for you. You're not writing for other people. You're writing for yourself. Writing is a very selfish thing. So I'm going to give you some insights today, and then you can decide how you want to use it. But the insights are from this book, the little green book of Getting Your Way. And if you don't own it, it's $15 on eBay. It's $15 on Amazon. Go get it. And in it, this is how to speak, how to present, and how to write. To get to the writing part, you have to go to page 161 to give you an idea, but it's, that's part of the deal. And it's the right way to write and get your way. So I'm going to throw this at you in terms of how you think about how you write, because you probably don't think about it at all. You probably sit down and then try to get a thought or get an idea, or maybe you have a thought, but you don't really understand the process of writing. So I'm going to make it real simple. First of all, I write like I talk. You read my book, it's like I'm talking right to you. And for writing, you have to be both powerful and compelling. It's up to you. So the first thing I want you to think about is this. I write like I think. I write like I talk. Those are the two things that will get you immediately to flow. I never get thinker's block. Writer's block is just bullshit. That means you're not thinking enough, or you come into this unprepared and you're thinking, well, maybe I'm going to get this like bolt of lightning and understand where I'm at and what I'm trying to do. No, not happening. So that's first. Write like you think, write like you talk. Make it conversational. Number 2, I write anywhere, anytime. In other words, the minute a thought hits me, I either text it to myself or I sit down at a laptop and write. Actually, I don't type anymore. I dictate. Everything is voice to text. My last 7 books have been all voice to text. The next point is I collect ideas and I collect thoughts. The minute an idea comes to you, document it, boom. The minute the thought comes to you, document it, boom. When I get an idea, I stretch it. In other words, I'll write the idea down. Maybe I let it sit for a little while, or maybe I have a thought right away, but I stretch that idea as fast as I possibly can. And I do it voice to text, because you don't want to lose your stream of conscious. I'll give you a piece of insight. I type real fast. I don't give a shit if you type real fast. When you make a mistake, you're on a stream of conscious, and I typed the wrong letter, and you go backspace, and then erase, and then you hit the P key because that's what you meant to, and you've lost your entire stream of conscious. Don't be an idiot. just voice to text. It's not the new way. It's the only way. I write from my own experience. I don't reference, the only research I've ever done was on one book, Little Platinum Book of Cha-Ching, which started out as the Patterson Principles of Selling that I wrote about John Patterson, who founded NCR and is really the grandfather of salesmanship in America. And I couldn't write about him without doing research. But I lived in Dayton, Ohio for 3 weeks, did all the research for the book. Other than that, none. So writing from your own experience means you have to have some. When I write a column or a chapter, I stick to one subject, one thought, or one theme. In other words, I get those 2 or 3 pages out of me, and then I go to the next theme. And keep in mind, your ego needs to stay out of this. I call that networking. Well, so does everybody else. Just name it. You don't have to say, this is not a book about you. This is a book about it and them. I don't care about grammar. I happen to have taken a grammar test every day in high school for 4 years in Haddonfield Memorial High School, Haddonfield, New Jersey. But I'm challenging you, make your own rules. You're the writer. I care about structure and flow. In other words, I want that book to look good, and I want it to flow so that the reader goes from one page to the next. I use ragged right. I don't justify anything. I don't hyphenate anything, and I don't widow anything. If you know anything about writing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, you gotta learn it. I rely on spell checker, and I keep writing until I complete the thought. Yeah, I use spell check. Everyone does. And I have an editor, but that editor only corrects my use of words, not my thoughts. I write in the male gender because I'm male. I try to say in the he category, but now I'll use he or she. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. My writing voice is not PC. In other words, if I think it's bullshit, I'll call it bullshit. I do not include myself with the reader. I never use first person plural, ever. I use you, or if I'm going to say I say I, but if I'm going to include everybody, I'll say you know and I know, not we all know. Got it? I'm the writer. I'm not in the group of the audience. Same way when you're speaking. When speakers say we, it's like, go away. So weak. I break the rules of traditional writing, grammar, and punctuation. I do whatever I want. I'm the writer. I edit when I finish, but I edit better a day later. Ooh, just let it sit. You'll come back to it the next day and you're like, oh my God, what was I thinking here? Or, oh my God, this is pretty good. And there's a free get bit at the end of that thing, but there's some other things I want to talk to you about here. Hold on. Okay. Here's 5.5 more things. Ready? Don't wait till you're ready. Grab an idea, sit down and write something. The second thing is capture your best thoughts and ideas the second they occur. The third is write it like you would say it. Remember, I write like I talk? If you're talking to a friend, that's how you write. It's very conversational. The fourth thing is make sure your thoughts are simple, easy to understand, and complete. In other words, you don't have to be up here. You just need to be right in line with your readers, most of which are 8th grade or 10th grade levels. The fifth is edit early and edit often. And 5.5, you're writing for the reader and for yourself. This is your legacy. This is what someone's going to read 100 years from now. So you don't, and what I do is I avoid using adverbs because it's the best, it's the most, whatever. No. Or when I see when I see an article that starts with recently I delete it. I never read it because the person's going to just be verbose about nothing. So I want to show you what's behind me. Right now, you just see what's behind my desk. And by the way, my latest book is Get Shit Done. You can get it on Amazon. This is, if I need to promote more than that, I'm done. I'm toast. All right, so I'm going to show you. I'm sitting at my desk right now. Got it? And here's my library. I have 11,500 books in my library. And your job is to have a library and a place to write.
Jeffrey, show the library again, please.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready. And you have 3 rooms of libraries, right?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of libraries. I have a reading room that has 600, 700 books in it. Books that I've read inspire me.
Yeah,
Ken,
you changed
it's so good to see it's Dr. Smiley, but I mean, to me, you're a bald dentist. And which I totally respect, by the way.
Well, I never want to pull your teeth, but I want to tell you, I'm honored that you're here, but I had you on a show recently, and I have every one of your books. I don't know if everyone is 10, but I have 10 of your books, but you have way more than 10.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, you know what one I love is
listen, here's the deal. Yeah, you know, it's so interesting. Wilson, when I first started, people started bad. It's like, go, I wish I could I wrote and conversation. And so you read the Sales Bible, you get just who I am anyway. If you read the on Monday, and one of my friends and clients, a very wealthy guy, was bringing on another guy, and I didn't know.
Hey, Jeffrey, you're cutting up a little bit, and I think you're off screen for a second.
Am I on now?
You're on now. I think you might need to repeat what you said the last minute. Sorry about that.
Okay, I'll do it. Hold on, let me plug back in. Make sure I'm good on this.
And I'm going to let you have the floor again. I just wanted to interject that
That's okay. It's totally fine. Am I back on?
You're back on. Cool.
Okay. So I'm in this meeting with people that have 9-figure net worths. And this one guy was contacted on the spur of the moment to come in and talk to me about doing this deal. And he goes, I have to tell you, I'm 1,000 miles away from home. I flew on the airplane and I brought one book with me. And he goes like this. Now, this book is 20 years old. It is the largest selling sales book of all time. And the reason it is because it's not about how to sell. It's about why people buy. It's got cartoons, it's got full page quotes, it's got everything you would want in a sales book. And I have not revised one word of this in 20 years. The word social media do not appear in this book because that's a whole other thing. If you want, I've written on social media, if you want it, buy the Sales Bible. I update that all the time. But this book is a classic, and I even called it the classic edition. Right. I added the backstory, I added some full page quotes, but I didn't change one word. Did not change one word. And that's the challenge that you have when you're writing your book. Well, I'm writing a second edition. No, you don't have to do that. Write another book.
Thank you, Jeffrey. I got to say, this was not the idea of the Author-a-Thon to teach people, but you just gave them the class, and it's the class that actually
I'll make friends with every single person that's on there. Yes. I'm not pontificating about, well, I'm a pretty damn good writer. I've been doing this for 30 years. And you don't care about that. You care about drop dead. You just care about what you can learn from this and what you can gain from this. And if I can give 99 other authors a writing lesson that they can take to the bank, they'll never forget me. And Ken, they'll all go buy the book. Everyone.
Yes, they will. And I want to tell the authors, since they're all listening, I wrote for 10 years, Jeffrey, I recently, and he deleted, and I didn't know he was deleting it every time because I would say I recently. And so I stopped doing I recently. I go, I would like to help you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But people don't even realize it, Ken. They don't realize how they write. And if you write adverbally, is because you're trying to add a few more words. And your words are worth $1 a pop.
Well, you edify the philosophy of a book is better written poorly and make a difference than it is to not be written at all.
Exactly. Totally, exactly. And if you're not a good writer, and now you can even have AI come in and go take out the adverbs and replace them with some other word. And I'm going to make a confession to you. I don't use AI at all to write.
It's not much of a confession.
I grew up in the 60s. We had ideals. I can't explain it.
Well, you're funny, Jeffrey. You basically said, I'm going to make a confession. I've never sinned. I mean,
yeah. Well, I have very high ethics, but very low morals. So I'm probably I'll be at purgatory for a long time.
Well, you're doing some really big things right now. I've seen you in mastery class, and we're just lucky to have you here. Do you want to share like your library? You're making it available. You're publishing.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm actually looking for a couple of investors if anybody's out there wants to play. I'm going to digitize my library of books that are out of print, and then create library cards for people that want 1,000 books that are classics, autographed copies of Message to Garcia or Think and Grow Rich. And those will all be scanned, and we'll have a librarian who will ask questions about it. It's very interactive. And we're looking for somewhere around 25,000 subscribers. Huge, but good. Yes. And I have about 2,500 books that I can scan. And now with digital everything, it'll go into AI. You'll be able to question anything about anything and get an instant answer. That's big. That's number one. Number two, I now have a conversational AI platform. In other words, instead of just asking me a question or a word that I can't stand as prompt, instead, you don't have to prompt me. Just call me up. Jeffrey, I'm in the middle of the sales call, and this guy's a cheap bastard. What do I do? And I'll give you an answer right on the spot.
Yes, you will.
And think about conversational AI is the next thing in sales and sales training, the next thing. And it's now. You can get it right now. So if someone's going to give you a bunch of stuff about how to overcome objections, it's bullshit. If somebody came on the other day, some supposed guru, and talked about tonality. Seriously? No, I talk about value. Tonality doesn't mean anything, because why would you try to manipulate somebody by changing the way you talk? Why don't you just think about what can I provide for this person that makes my offer irresistible? There's so much perceived value in it that they can't wait to buy. Did I worry about my tonality when I came onto this show? No,
not at all.
I don't give a shit about tonality. I don't even give a shit about language. What I care about is, can I transfer my message? That's what you really want. Can the audience say, I understand it, I get it, I agree with it, I think I can do it, I'm willing to try it, or I'm willing to buy it? That transfers the message. And most people only deliver a message and have no concept of how to transfer it. You learn that in selling, by the way.
I have two favorite things to share with the audience. One is what you said today, and one is what you said, I don't know, a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. So the one 10 years ago is you said, you think I'm good at videos? I did 1,000 videos before I got good. I was sucked. I sucked.
Right, exactly. I in the beginning, I totally sucked.
Yeah.
But now I read, I recorded this book 5 years after I wrote it. And it was submitted for the award of best recorded book of the year. And my publisher, I'm not going to mention their name because it wouldn't be fair to them. Crappy pieces of shit. But they said, don't bother going to the award ceremony because you're up against Good to Great and Who Moved My Cheese and And I won. I won the best recorded book of the year. So, and that was 2009. And I saw my publisher and I said, oh, and I don't want to mention their name because it wouldn't be fair to Simon and Schuster. It wouldn't be fair to them.
You know, what's funny is when someone says it rhymes with Scheinman and Schuster.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But, I won the award because I read my own writing.
Right.
And because I read it with passion. I didn't have as told to or as written, if you're authentic, you read your own stuff.
Exactly. I want to say the other part is that in this call, the most valuable lesson you could possibly give is if the reader doesn't feel you're having a conversation with them, you lost them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And that's an easy way to write. That's called recording.
Yeah. Just be yourself. Be yourself. That's a tough one. Be yourself. There's two be yourself quotes. Dale Carnegie is the common thread between how to win friends and influence people and how to stop worrying and start living. That the theme of that book is be yourself. And of course, Oscar Wilde, who said, be yourself, everyone else is already taken.
And that was one of the best. But he is competing with Outside a Dog. A book is man's best friend. Inside a Dog is too dark to read.
Oh, yeah. It's interesting to me that Oscar Wilde wrote in the 1850s, and his Dorian Gray is now on Broadway, and you can't get a ticket. 150 years later.
Insane.
It's totally insane.
Well, to close out, we both have the best taste in music. We both love a person named Jeff, just like your name, Jeff, except Jeff Lynn. So our kindred friend is Jeff Lynn, and I bet you he would make one of the most amazing books that I would buy. Yes, you have something back there with Jeff Lynn?
Yeah, of course. I have all kinds of autographs of Jeff Lynn.
I know you do. I know you used to hang with him. And I've told, admittedly, on many platforms, you being part of them, is that
I have lived my rock and roll fantasy.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. And who sang that song, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Rock and Roll Fantasy. Who sang that song?
My rock and roll fantasy. I can't remember, but it could be
Bad Company.
Winwood.
Bad Company.
Oh, Bad Company. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bad Company. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that next.
I know that was next. Jeff, you are the best. I am so grateful that you're on this Author-a-Thon. More importantly, I'm blessed that we are talking and creating friendship. I always want to give you value back because you've given me so much value in life. So thank you.
Cool. We'll yak a little later. I got a couple of things to go over with you. But in the meantime, if you're in the audience, write well.
God bless you, Jeff.
Bless you too.
Talk to you later.
Thank you. Thank you.